Hello and welcome to the Australian Gamer Show. I'm Yug.
I'm Matt.
And tonight we're going to be talking about...
a really large melange of things because we haven't done this for a while.
We haven't. I'm a little bit rusty. I'm feeling out of practice. Are we doing all right so far? Is this good?
Well, I mean, we've said hello so far. We couldn't fuck that up.
We could.
We have in the past.
We are right now, actually.
We are now doing so actively.
We're going to talk about games that have come out this week.
Some games that have come out previously.
Did
you say games that have come out this week? I thought you said games that are coming out this week. Okay, then I meant games that have come out before this week.
Oh, God.
Because that's only a week, which doesn't take into account Deus Ex.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I really missed this, man.
We're going to be talking about what we're looking forward to in the future. So we're going to talk about the past, the future, and possibly if there's any other space of time. Nothing jumps to mind.
Because, my God, there are a metric fuck ton of games coming out over the next couple of months.
It is Gamerpalooza.
Yes, indeed. But yeah, it's nice. I'm back here in Brisbane for a very short period of time, just flying in, flying out.
Popped up, and
I thought it'd be nice to actually do a podcast for old time's sake. You know, show some of those other podcasts how it's actually done.
Yeah, how a pro does it.
Yeah, that's right, you know.
With a beer is the answer.
Yeah, that's right. That's how it works. But yeah, Mad Bar Melbourne obviously opened up a couple of months ago, which is fantastic. And as soon as it opened, I pretty much fucked off to Sydney.
Yeah, that was really poorly thought out.
Why?
Because you got the fun of the hassle of opening a bar.
Yeah.
Without the actually having a bar.
I know.
Being a bar
It's
thing.
great because now, you know, when I was down in Melbourne, opening up Melbourne, I'd get every single night, I'd get all the photos sent to me of all the events that were happening up in Brisbane. And I was the one that had to organise all the events. So I'm like, oh, awesome, this looks like a really cool event that I can't go to. Well, have fun, guys. Yeah. And I get all the photos that I have to sort through and put up, and I'm like, wow, that looks like a really good time. I'm glad you all enjoyed yourself, and now I get to do it for 2 venues. So
that is exciting.
Yes.
That's really fun for you.
Am I getting sympathy here?
Not really.
Not really?
No?
All right. Fine. Whatever.
Yeah.
How are you, Matt? What's new with you? We should update people. Like, you know, it's been a while since we've done a podcast.
I've basically been just working my dick off. Like,
is it off yet, or is it still? It's still all right.
Well, it's
hanging by a thread.
It's circumcised now, and it didn't used to be. So I guess that's...
What the fuck are you working on?
A sort of pencil sharpener type device. No, I am... Probably the most interesting thing I could say in terms of this podcast is that by the time most of you hear this, I will be in motherfucking Japan.
Motherfucking Japan. There's not as much...
If there is anywhere that could possibly be described in terms of perversion, it's Japan.
Right, okay, yeah,
They have taken what the fuck to a whole exciting new level.
Well, you've been before. You actually went recently.
Yeah, we went about 6 months ago. And a little while ago when everyone was talking about E3, I kind of went, wouldn't it be great to go to Tokyo Game Show? And then I went... Yes, it would. Why would I not do that?
Flights are goddamn cheap at the moment to Japan as well.
Yeah, well, I paid about $400 there and back. So I think $420 or about that.
Something ridiculously low.
Something very, very low for a trip to the far orient.
Other side of the world, practically. So is it?
No, not really. That's an Antipodes. That's not.
Okay, I don't know. I'm not very good with.
But it's more up than here.
Yes, there we go.
Yeah.
That's good.
It's the other hemisphere. That's good enough.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, it's also rad. Basically, it is highly rad.
Cool.
It's got a greater radosity than here. I don't know.
No,
but
you
no,
really
it's
don't.
great. It's great, and I'm going up. Tokyo Game Show is next weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Not the weekend coming, but the one after.
Sure.
The first 2 days of it are media only, which is the Thursday, Friday.
Yep.
And I will be there for that, which should be awesome. And then there's the Saturday, Sunday that I have no interest in being at.
Yep.
Because it'll be packed.
Yeah,
so.
of course.
But we should get some good content out of it. Hoping to take a bunch of video, see a bunch of things I don't understand.
Matt in Japan.
Tyler will be with me, and we'll be having an awesome time.
Beautiful. That sounds lovely.
So those of you who aren't in Japan, you have my pity and scorn.
Well, I won't be in Japan.
You too.
I'll be down in Sydney. And
there's plenty of scorn to go around.
I've really enjoyed my time down in Sydney so far. I've been down there for about 3 weeks now.
Mm-hmm.
It's fantastic because that's where all the publishers and all of the other gaming journals are actually based. So it's I just love it. It's nice going down there and showing them how to really drink.
I like that. That's what you can offer the world.
That is right up there. So, still doing mobile stuff, and also started a role for a website that's about to launch on 1st of October called MCV Pacific. For anyone that's a game developer or publisher or retailer or getting into the games industry or student or anything to do with the games sector whatsoever, you should read this website because it's a gaming trade publication for,
I see.
for like Australia and New Zealand.
That.
They don't do game reviews or anything like that. It's about what's actually happening in the industry, what's happening with the people in the industry. Like
interesting.
It's all about and not just focusing on developers like Tsumir or things like that. So it's good. Go check it out. mcvpacific.com.
Catchy.
Yes.
MVC was that?
MCV. Fuck you.
I'm helping.
Yeah.
Well, that sounds cool. That'll keep you out of trouble.
It gives me
get you in trouble, which is
no. It lends me a certain air of credibility. It's fantastic.
That's actually a terrifying thought. Young with credibility.
I know.
It's like a panda with the ability to breed.
Do you know what I did the other day? Or about a month ago? I know that's very different phrases of time, but you know what I mean?
Quite different.
I shaved.
In the 1800s?
I shaved.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is riveting stuff for a podcast,
Yeah.
I know. But I actually got a clean shave. I have not gotten a clean shave for as long as you've known me.
Oh, so you are actually scruffy.
No.
So you weren't scruffy.
I wasn't
you
scruffy.
Weren't scruffy.
I got a shave and a really nice haircut by a proper barber.
Yeah.
He's one of those Italian guys that couldn't speak full English sort of thing. You go to his proper barber thing. You sit down. He doesn't shampoo your hair or anything like that. He gets one of those big dog brushes and just rips through it, which is not good for my hair.
No.
And then he's and then he shaved and did all the cream stuff, and he's doing this. He's drinking beers in between as well, which worried me a little bit. But I figured he's a professional that's been doing this for long enough. And
sure.
If he killed anyone, he would have been shut down by now. It's Melbourne.
Sure.
It's credible in those suburbs.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
Sure. For the record, just to give this some kind of context, when my son was about 3 and could barely speak, he knew a few words. I remember him. I was looking at a magazine, and he pointed at the magazine and said, "Guy," at a picture of Guy Pearce.
Hey!
And I went,
"It's awesome."
I went, "How the hell does my 2-year-old son know Guy Pearce?" And he didn't. But he saw someone with a scraggly, unshaved beard and just went, "Hey, I know that dude. That's Guy."
Awesome.
So it was just a nice coincidence.
So I'd freak the hell out of him if I actually came in here and saw him. He saw me clean shaven. Is that what you're saying?
You'd probably freak him out anyway.
Awesome. Yeah.
You're you.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much. We should talk about games and stuff. This is supposed to be a gaming podcast, not just a Matt and Yug reminisce podcast.
Yeah. Good times.
Oh, God.
Remember when we used to talk about games?
Yeah, I do. Remember when we got drunk? No, actually.
No.
That was, never.
That's
I don't remember it the next day.
No, that's true.
Yeah.
Games. What did you want to talk about first?
Okay,
talk about. There's been a spate of recent releases.
It has. Look, I guess the big thing at the moment is things are just starting to ramp up for that pre-Christmas period.
Yeah,
so
pre-Christmas.
obviously, recently, your AAA titles, you got Deus Ex that came out a couple of weeks ago, which was very exciting. I kind of think that really kicked things off.
Yeah, well, Deus Ex was for me the one I'd been really waiting for. And
yeah,
I waited for it on PC. I bought it on PC. We had review copies are coming, but I just went, you know what? I'm a buyer. Give.
Mm-hmm.
I want to play my game now on Steam. So I did that, and I don't regret that. And I have logged playtime.
Yep.
I have logged playtime now of 115 hours.
Jesus Christ.
In Deus Ex. Though I will freely admit that the vast majority of that is me forgetting to turn my computer off.
Oh, okay. But it still sounds impressive.
But it sounds really good.
It does.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, look, I guess the other one is the games that have started to come out, especially this week. You've got Dead Island, Resistance 3, Warhammer 40k Space Marine. Now, that's a heavy hitter of titles right there.
Dead Island has intrigued me since I saw the really good trailer. Intrigued you,
yeah. Okay, let's stop that.
Since I saw the trailer. Did you see that one that was filmed backwards?
I saw of course I saw that. That was...
it was really, really cool.
Amazing. And do you know what? I kind of wonder about Dead Island because it is by, I think, Koch... whatever.
It's right there. Just look at the front of it, for Christ's sake.
I could. But I guess the point is, it's the developers and the people behind it. It's not doesn't have a pedigree about it. If it didn't, that trailer created so much interest about that game. And not only that, but has hardly anything to do with the game itself.
And was in no way produced by anyone involved with the game.
No,
That's another funny thing. They've just outsourced, here, promote the fuck out of this, and the guys have gone, okay.
Yeah.
And made a video with some zombies that was kick-ass.
Yeah, it was amazing. And I think a lot of the interest on Dead Island, at least initially, especially where we didn't know that much about it, was purely from that trailer, which was, I just think that's fantastic. But now it turns out that the game itself, this first-person, very close combat zombie shooter, or zombie hitter.
We don't want to spoiler the Zero Punctuation upcoming, but Yahtzee's quick description was, what was it? Dead Rising meets Borderlands.
Right, yes. Okay, there we go.
So that,
because it does. It has that RPG element to it, which is quite interesting.
It's weird seeing numbers come off a zombie.
Yeah.
You are taking my numbers. The brain.
That's your impression of a zombie?
That's what
you're
like.
the least threatening zombie I've ever met.
All zombies are the least threatening. I move faster than zombies. Barely, but that's enough. It's enough to get away.
Anyway, so Dead Island Resistance 3, of course, is the other big one that's coming out this week. You're a fan of the Resistance games,
you know what?
You?
I haven't played the Resistance games as much as I would like. I did play the second one a little bit, and what I do want to point out about it is that it has really good multiplayer.
Okay.
The multiplayer in the Resistance games are really cool, and the weaponry in the Resistance games are really cool. Which in a lot of games that are sort of sci-fi, futuristic, I've criticised before, if you're going to set something in the future, please don't give me a machine gun, a shotgun, and a rocket launcher, for fuck's sake.
Right.
I want something that shoots round walls, through walls.
Yeah. Futuristic, militaristic.
That actually tracks anus and flies directly at it.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, like down, around, and then up. Like, why not? Because it's the future. Use some imagination. Do something fun.
Yeah, that's great. I can't wait for your future. That's your vision of the future.
My vision of the future.
This is what I want in the future, you know? You don't want better health care or medicine.
I call it.
I want rockets that go up people's asses.
I call it Pootopia.
Right, the suppository rocket. Great.
Yes, exactly.
Okay. And the other one is Warhammer 40k Space Marine.
Yeah.
You played the demo, didn't you?
No, you know what? I tried. I tried to download the demo on Steam because I like playing that kind of game on PC because I have a kick-ass PC and I want it to do some things.
Yep.
Because I'm not entirely sure World of Warcraft taxes it, especially. But I tried to download the demo and I kept pressing the download demo button and it kept going, no. No. Right. Just not interested in that right now.
It doesn't like you anymore. Do you know why it doesn't like you anymore? Because you bought a Mac.
I did.
You know what? I'm sorry, can I just say, so Matt has a Mac Air, and he has an iPad sitting here as well, and he's got an iPod. All he's missing is the fucking turtleneck.
Yeah.
And he's and jumping around as a silhouette, and he's practically a convert.
Well, I do in fairness have two PCs as well. I have a laptop PC and a
Doesn't matter.
PC.
Doesn't matter.
It's just a little portable travel thing. Don't look at me.
You hipster.
Yeah, I think there's more requirement for that.
This is going off some really old stereotypes now, isn't it?
It really is. It really is.
Oh well.
Yeah, I just wanted something for travelling and for just general use.
So here's another question. I mean, Deus Ex was, for me, one of the big titles this year that I've been looking forward to ever since I saw it last year at the Manor Bar, actually, sort of thing.
Yeah, we saw a preview.
It was really looking really good back then. Now, what else coming up over the next couple of months? I mean, we've got some of the heavy hitters. I mean, your Battlefield 3 and your Modern Warfare 3, of course, and Skyrim is another huge one that's on the way out. And there was another one at the tip of my tongue that I've forgotten. What else?
Batman Arkham Asylum.
Batman Arkham Asylum.
Arkham City definitely deserves mention. That one really intrigues me. Play as Catwoman, be Batman.
Yep.
Generally looks kick-ass. And nothing not to like in that. There was... I don't know for sure, but is BioShock Infinite coming out this year? I should have looked into that more, but I think
I don't think
soon.
I think that's next year. Pretty sure that's next year.
There's also rumors, as Luke was pointing out the other day, that Diablo 3 could see the light of day in December.
Okay, very nice.
So that could be well worth play. I'm intrigued. Skyrim doesn't really interest me. I think that it's not coming out till 2012 either, but Guild Wars 2 really interests me. I'm kind of keen to dabble a bit in.
I'm hearing that one quite MMO. A bit around the traps actually. So
yeah. That looks like it's worthy of some of my attention.
Oh,
I shall
worthy.
Deign to look at it.
Right. Oh, well, but how very nice of you.
I know.
Good. You're so so humble. It's
well, whatever. Sometimes I have to slum it with you people. God, I sound like Artsy now.
Yeah, Jesus, you've been living with him for too long. But yeah, no, there are.
What about you? What's really doing it for you?
Well, this is the thing. This, living in Sydney and not being physically at a Manor Bar. This, coming back here to Brisbane for a little bit has been the first time in 3 weeks that I've. It's the longest time I've been away from a Manor Bar, and of course, my life completely revolved around that. So now I find myself with the occasional bit of spare time where I actually get to play games. Unfortunately, when I moved to Sydney, I had my big briefcase thing, and packed it full of clothes because I didn't know how long I'd be in Sydney without all my furniture and things like that. Now I'm like, oh Christ, I really want to be able to play some games. So I took out some clothes, I put in a PlayStation, and now I'm like, oh well, what if where I go they don't have a TV or something? So I took out more clothes and put in a monitor. And now I'm
my God!
And now I'm like, well, I mean, I don't. I need to stay entertained. I'll take a bit of stuff. So I took out more clothes, put in 4 controllers and a whole bunch of PlayStation games.
So are you naked in Sydney? Is that the deal?
Look, right now I have 2 shirts on me. That's all I've got. And when I arrived here in Brisbane, they were all wet. Like I hadn't even washed them properly. So
wet. Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Right. Because you hadn't washed them properly, not because you hadn't washed them.
Yeah.
Wet because you hadn't washed them is not okay.
It's not okay, is it? No. Okay, let's skip past that one then.
I was going to mention another game coming out, Rage. I'm really iffy on that. I'll be convinced, but I haven't seen enough to really judge much. Gears of War 3 can feel free to go fuck itself.
Really?
I hate that. No, I hate that series. It is the most juvenile, macho, bullshit, stupid, fuckwitted idiot.
So is Duke Nukem Forever. So fucking what?
Yes, remember how I criticised that?
No.
For that?
I wasn't really listening to you at the time.
I know.
I see. I don't mind games that are unashamedly, and unapologetically, and they're not trying to trick you or assume that you think you're reading more into it, sort of thing. Duke Nukem Forever wore its humor and its masochism. No, that's the wrong word.
Misogyny. Masochism. That would have livened up Duke Nukem. A bit of masochism. Go into his dungeon where mistresses beat him.
Right. Okay.
That would have given. That's what masochism means.
Maybe that's the sequel.
Masochism is when you like being hurt. So the idea that he had this streak that he needed to have women hit him. That gives Duke some fucking depth, and that's what they needed.
That's what you want in the sequel.
That would have been great.
Right. Okay, I'm completely distracted now just by images of Duke
tied
up with his dominatrix sort of behind him.
With a fucking gimp mask on. Blonde tufts of hair sticking out.
God, no. Anyway, the reason I'm interested in Gears of War 3, and I never really got into Gears of War 1 or 2. I never really got into it until down in Melbourne, we did put on Gears of War 2 and played the co-op. And co-op is exceptionally special in Gears of War.
That it's a very well suited game to co-op, and there are a few games that are like that are maybe nothing special by themselves, but co-op and multiplayer in general do stand out. Still, I don't care.
Fine, don't care all you want. I don't care that you don't care.
Well, you know what? Forget it.
No, forget it.
Assassin's Creed Revelations also.
Oh God, yeah, of course.
And we should probably mention, and I don't know that I'm going to get this podcast up in time, but there is the PSN has opened beta access for multiplayer for Revelations now. So if you go on now on your
PlayStation
machine, thing,
the electronic beeping noisy thingy,
an electronic beep machine.
Yep.
You will be able to access the beta. Do that now. Why are you not doing that now?
Awesome. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. This Assassin's Creed, does it wrap up the storylines? That's what I've heard. I've heard it's the final part of the story of the whole Desmond and Ezio and all these characters sort of thing. It kind of wraps it up.
I believe it wraps up at least a few of them, or at least it connects them. I don't know if it wraps them up.
I hope it does, because my God, if there's another Assassin's Creed after this that goes with the same storyline, there's just no way someone is going to be able to come into it and follow what the hell is going on.
Yeah,
and I love the Assassin's Creed games. I actually played them. I unlocked 100% of the levels in the first, second, and Brotherhood. I really got into them. Obsessive, compulsive, sort of got into them, sort of thing. So, looking forward to this one. Definitely.
Fair enough.
Definitely.
You know what? I haven't played any of them. I like the idea, and I want to play them, but they've just been one of those games that are there on my giant pile of shame.
Of course. Now, actually, there are two other games that I do particularly want to mention on this podcast while we've got a moment, and they did both come out recently in the last couple of weeks, and that is two iPhone games. And these are two iPhone games that were created by Australian studios, Fireman and Halfbrick Studios, Spy Mouse and Jetpack Joyride, respectively.
Indeed.
That are just soaring through the app charts.
Yeah,
there was a moment there where out of the top 5 games, 3 of them, top 5 iPhone games, 3 of them were Australian. Jetpack Joyride, Spy Mouse and Fruit Ninja, which is just phenomenal and awesome all around.
Yeah, that is impressive, yeah.
But the reason I wanted to bring this up is I've been addicted to Jetpack Joyride. Love it. I've been playing it obsessive compulsively every spare moment, which is not many that I actually have. You, on the other hand...
Actually, twice you've said you do things obsessive compulsively. And do you know what I think the only thing you do obsessive compulsively is? Say that you do things obsessive compulsively.
Am I actually getting the terminology wrong? You're about to correct me about something?
Oh, no, I'm not. You've mentioned that a couple of times, and I think it's an obsessive compulsive trait of yours to say things that are obsessive compulsive.
You could be right. I have found as I get older there are certain quirks about me that I'm just like, that's a quirk, that's an issue, that's, I'm obsessive about this thing, or, I have to, when I have the volume on the radio.
No, I find this hilarious.
Okay, so the volume, when you're in the car or you're listening to the radio or even on the laptop or computer or whatever, the volume has to be set to either an even number or a multiple of 5. If you set that volume to 17... I'm just going to freak out till I can change it.
Even then, it still bothers you. If it was 14...
14 is not as good as 15.
I know, you would change it to 15.
If it's 14, I'll move it to 15. Multiples of 5 are better.
I like trying to find numbers that bother Yug.
Yes.
We've actually... It sounds funny, and everyone's like, haha, Yug, you zany person. But we've had a problem in the past where we've tried to put on staff for Australian Gamer, and I've gone, okay, found 2 good people, and Yug's like, no. Well, why not? Need 3. Why? Need 3. It gets Rain Man on me. He's like,
I need to
gotta have 5 people.
Definitely need 3. 5 people. We definitely need 5.
It's bizarre, but it's just something I have to deal with.
I don't know. For someone that's not very good at numbers, that I find it bizarre that I just, I don't know. I don't know. Don't judge me.
I'm judging you. I've always judged you, but this is not something that you can really explain or justify logically. It is not a logical thing, and you know it.
I do. But this is okay. I've kind of just gotten to the point where it's like, yeah, you know what? I'm old enough that I just don't fucking care.
Okay.
I don't really care.
And I'm turning up the radio.
What's that set to at the moment? No, fuck you. So anyway, Jetpack Joyride, which I think is fantastic, and please everyone go out there, download it, not just because it is amazingly fun, but also do support the local developers that are actually making good products and actually bringing the Australian industry a lot of acclaim and a really good solid reputation, especially in the wake of THQ Studio, Blue Tongue, and Team Bondi, and these massive studio closures, which are horribly unfortunate, and for some of them inevitable, unfortunately. But so do support that side of the Australian industry.
I think you were starting to say that I didn't like Jetpack.
That's exactly where I was going.
Yeah, and I wanted to clarify just in case someone got the whiff of that and thought, Matt hates Jetpack. What I actually feel about it is that the best thing that Halfbrick do is humour. It's very hard to do, and they do it exceptionally well. And I refer particularly to Rascals and Age of Zombies. Mm-hmm. Age of Zombies had extremely good writing for the character of Barry Steak Fries.
Yep.
And he was funny and spontaneous and silly. Mm-hmm. And they lost that in here, and they had an opportunity to put that sort of humour in, and they just didn't.
Really?
Yep.
What about the Prophet Bird, the dig at Angry Wings?
No, that's not what I'm talking about. Having a dig at Angry Wings and calling something the Prophet Bird and having money following out of it.
Yeah, it was funny.
That's funny. I just thought it was petty and silly. I don't care.
I don't know how much comedy and humour you can inject to a side-scrolling cannonball kind of game, though. Do you know what I mean?
Some? Any?
I thought it was cute. The mechanics are solid, and it's you've got the different jetpacks that you get. You get a bubble jetpack.
I'm not saying there's not fun to it. I'm just saying that I really like the dialogue and humour in the writing of
again, with a game that doesn't actually require, or even I don't think there's even room for dialogue and humour. I don't think that's an issue. I think you might be missing the point.
Wow, it is so easy to dismiss someone's opinion by saying, no, you're missing the point.
Well, you know.
Like, you could do that with anything.
Yeah.
Oh, you didn't like Fast and Furious 5. Oh, I think you're missing the point. Oh, did you not like Transformers 2? I think you're missing the point.
What was the point?
You're missing it. You missed it. I'm sorry, but you missed the point of Transformers 2. If you did, you would understand just how good it is. Missing the point is not a fucking opinion.
All right.
It is a dismissal.
Yeah.
And fuck you with a bullet in your butt. Right up there.
Right. Okay. Right. Nice callback. Yeah. Okay.
I thought so.
So you don't hate machine Jetpack Joyride.
No, it's fun, and I
You
played
just
a lot of
don't
it.
find it funny enough.
I just think they had an opportunity to do something funny and to do something with that character has excelled at before. I think what they chose to do instead was make Monster Dash with better graphics.
Oh, there's way more to it. Plus, did you actually get caught up in like the achievements and stuff like that?
One of them is a side-scrolling running survival game with Barry Steak Fries. Which one was that? Oh, both. Both of them were.
Right. Okay, I see where you're going there.
Which one of them had a machine gun jetpack?
Yep.
Oh wait. No, both of them did.
Okay. No.
Wait, hang on.
Yeah.
No, there was one of them. That's right. There was a real difference where one of them had a add-on, like a power-up vehicle you could get that was a Harley Davidson, and you'd ride along and it'd get faster. Which one was... Oh, wait, that was both of them.
Yeah, I see where you're going here. But that doesn't... Just because they actually took elements from Monster Dash that wasn't as successful as this one, that doesn't actually mean this one, standing on its own, ignore Monster Dash for a second, if you can.
No, that's fair. I think every game studio should be allowed to just remake a game, and you can just ignore the last one if you prefer this one. No, it's fine. I totally agree. I'd really like to see BioShock, where it's like a survival first-person shooter set in a sunken city.
Yeah, it's called BioShock 2.
That's not really the point.
Am I missing the point?
You are missing the point. I liked it. I did like it, and I don't want to seem overly critical. I think it's too much like Monster Dash for me, and I think it lacks a lot of the humour that was lacking in that was present in Age of Zombies and lost in Monster Dash. And I think if there was anything from the Barry Steak Fries legacy that you would bring back, it would be that, and they didn't.
All right, you hearing this, Phil?
He probably is.
Yeah, you better. Yeah, act on this. Fix this.
The way they would fix that would be by rubbing me out, by knocking me off. You know what the fucking iPhone game mafia is like in this town?
I really don't. What?
I'm making it up.
Great. Okay, sorry. There's an iPhone game mafia. The Australian iPhone game mafia.
I think Brisbane is the core, the centre of this kind of shady underworld of iPhone games.
Really?
Yeah. Fruit Ninja was originally a Yakuza-inspired theme.
Right, it was actually bodies
actually
and
legit.
people that they were actually cutting, and then they changed it to fruit to actually appeal to a wider demographic.
Yeah.
Right.
Though I think the buddies would probably appeal pretty widely.
It probably
we
would,
should
actually.
Probably wrap this motherfucking shit up.
We should, because I need to go. I've got a flight to catch. But one other thing, just while we're talking about like locally made games, I want everyone to go and do a search for a game. Oh, God, I hope I remember the name. Warcom? I think it's Warcom.
Okay.
This is a game that is being created by a local developer here called Defiant, and they're based in Brisbane. And I actually went to their offices the other day and just had like a look at the trailer for this particular game. And I love the concept, and I really want to be supportive
that's
of
that one. Gotcha.
supportive of this new kind of game, especially coming out of Brisbane. It's basically imagine a modern warfare game, so it's set in a modern wartime environment or whatever. First person, but not a shooter. You have no gun. You have a flak jacket and a camera. You're a journalist, and the goal of each level is to actually capture the conflicts that are actually happening in this world. And depending on how you capture what footage you capture, and how you edit it together at the end, you might actually do a bit of propaganda side with one side or the other or whatever. But you then cut the footage at the end and show what you've actually seen throughout that particular level. And describing it might sound, that sounds a bit boring or bland, but I think the potential and the idea is really, really interesting, and I really hope they explore it further.
Yeah, no, I think it looks really good. What we've seen of it looks pretty impressive, I have to say. And there's a few people doing projects in Brisbane that are surprisingly impressive, I have to say. One thing I wanted to say, just before we close up here, is the biggest disappointment for me this year, and I've been meaning to mention this for a while.
Matt, I'm sorry, but I had to move away.
I was going to say the biggest disappointment for me, other than you in general,
right,
is Rocksmith.
That's the downloadable DLC one that just came out, where it's like Marble Madness. No, that's Rock of Ages. What's Rocksmith?
I just figured I'd see where you were going with that. No, Rocksmith is a game that's a Guitar Hero style game, and you can plug a real guitar in, and it will teach you how to play as you play.
Didn't the last Rock Band, kind of let you plug a real guitar in?
No, you could get a special super advanced guitar, but it had to be a specific one.
Okay.
And it was impossible to get.
Okay, so it teaches you how to play guitar.
It'll actually teach you how to play a real guitar, and you can use any guitar with it.
Cool.
I know.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be great? If they brought it to Australia, which they're not.
Oh.
So, yeah, Ubisoft are not bringing that game to Australia. It's coming to the US only. No Europe, no Australia. That pisses me off.
Funny, there was a game on the Wii that came out just recently here in Australia. I can't remember what it's called. I'm terrible with this. RPG on the Wii. Xenoblade Chronicles.
Yeah.
Which is fantastic because it got released in Australia and the UK, not in the States.
Wow.
And there's a whole bunch of people in the States that were like crying foul. It's like, we want this game. How dare it comes out in other countries? And it's gratifying because it's like, now you know how we feel.
Welcome to our world.
Welcome to our world. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, we're going to wrap this up.
All right. We will see everybody later. Bye-bye, you fine, shiny people.
Indeed. And that's all I got.
All right.
All right.
Bye-bye, guys.
Cheers, guys.